What's going on, guys? This is Jason of Auglitical. I swim through the politics so you don't drown too. I am just a man trying to bring common sense in a world where common sense isn't so common. Let's read this off of the Telegraph. In my 40s, I'm suddenly haunted by the number of men I slept with. Okay? Dear A and E, I wish I hadn't slept with so many men. Okay, so A and E is Annabelle Rivkin and Emily McLean. Who the fuck? Okay, hold on. I need to see who these people are real quick. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Let's get it. Hold on. Who is this? White woman. Okay. Of course it's white women. Just hold on. I just want to see who this person's writing to. No, not Wikipedia, bro. Who is this? All right, so two older white women. Okay, gotcha. I wish I hadn't slept with so many men. I am in my mid 40s and I have been with a lovely man for many years, so I'm guessing this is like 5 years. And I am suddenly haunted by all the bodies I have encountered, probably even more years. I am I'm sorry, and I am suddenly haunted by all the bodies I have encountered, particularly as most of the sex was very unsatisfying. I don't know why I'm suddenly bothered by it. Love disconcerted. Okay. There is disconcerted. Something seems to happen at those extreme points in our life where we feel either truly safe or problematically splintered. The paper of time folds over, 2 points meet, and we feel a need viscerally to connect with the person we are. Female Helens wrote that. Two female Helens wrote that. The power of one, the power of two, the power of many. Anyway, sometimes it can happen when eternal events trigger a feeling. Emily's husband felt it when his daughter reached the. Oh my God! Of course they're fucking married. So one of these people responding is married. Emily's husband felt it when his daughter reached the age he was sent to boarding school. There he was, looking at an 8-year-old and wondering, how is this even possible? Perhaps you have a young woman in your life and you wonder how to prepare them for the mail of sexual politics, how to protect them from the confusing morass of cultural messaging, saint or sinner, sexy or frigid, goddess or whore. For fuck's sake, you, like us, grew up with the emergence of the Latin. I have no idea what the fuck that means. Those hard-working, hard-partying girls were the wallpaper of our 20s, to our 20s. So you partied hard. So what? First and foremost, this is horrible fucking shit. They're saying a lot of fucking nothing here, and to me, I'm sorry, maybe it's just going over my head. But this is much more than just partying fucking hard. Listen, bro. When it comes down to consequence, women do not feel that shit, right? They live in the fucking moment. So when a woman is actually contemplating on some shit she did in the fucking past, there's a good chance it's a lot deeper than she partied hard. Again, back in the day, 10, 15, 20 years ago, the average for women was three, highballing 7 to 8 men if they were quality women. And then they found their partner, men slightly larger. Now, I'm not talking about, well, I was in my double digits. Yeah, you're a fucking whore. Not sitting there saying you can't find love, but you would be the equivalent of a fucking whore. Just like a woman, if she's fucking and sucking all of those people, she's a whore. If you're a man and you're fucking all of these women, you're a whore. If you're in the double digits by the age of 25, there is something wrong with you. Either you purposely did it and you're realizing you fucked up, or you're just a fucking whore. But back then, it wasn't this high. We live in a day and age where they are promoting, or these women back then who should have been with lower numbers, higher quality relationships, higher quality sex to them because it's emotional for them. It's an emotional activity. Where they're being told, go into a relationship. It doesn't work. Well, sorry, date, fuck. Doesn't work, keep moving. Date, fuck. Doesn't work, keep moving. Get into what they call situationships or entanglements. Have a fuck buddy on the side. Get into a date with somebody. Fuck. Doesn't work, fuck your fuck buddy. Doesn't work, fuck him. Fuck his brother. Fuck his best friend. Shit like this. Be a boss bitch. Perfect example, Kim Kardashian, mother of multiple children at this fucking point, divorced Kanye West. Not even a month later, she went on SNL or some shit, started messing with one of the comedians on SNL named Pete Davidson because she knew he had a big dick. This woman is in her 40s. I believe she was in her 40s, talking on public TV, talking about some, oh, I heard he had a big dick. I needed dick. This is the type of culture that they promote to women. Anyway, let's continue. Here you find yourself disconcerted, and here is the safe, held place we talked about above. You are coinciding with yourself in contentment. You have come face to face with all the women that you are and have been, and so you wonder, how did I get here? Distance has created is created over time. We lose touch with it for what it felt like to be us way back when. We can look back with binoculars, but it will look different because we are different. But with that distance as a happy side dish comes perspective. Now that you are a monogamous midlife woman, that's fucking crazy. That is crazy. What that is crazy that you like now that you are monogamous, like that's not something that should be normal. Don't be calmed by the patriarchy. Oh my fucking god, there it is. Female hands wrote this. I knew this. And mind you, one of them is married. That dude is and already has kids with her. Guarantee you, that dude is either a beta orbiter male or that man is a hostage. Don't be conned by the patriarchy into thinking that your sexual behavior was deviant. Yes, it was. That's the reason why she's thinking. If it was, listen, if she was not a fucking deviant, she would not be messing. First and foremost, if she wasn't a deviant, she wouldn't even be entertaining talking to you people or writing in letters to you people. What do you? She would be happily living her life with her selected a group of friends and her family at the age of 40. In a good relationship, the only thing in her world that should be important is her kids and the man that she's with. She probably doesn't have kids at this point. It's unfortunate, but it is what it is. I'm just speaking the truth. Unlike the raid boss that we react to those videos of Courtney, I think she's married, gorgeous woman. In my eyes, I sent for Courtney. I look at her as a raid boss, and I don't mean it in any disrespect. But that female filter, that fake toxic positivity bullshit needs to stop, bro. I'm not sitting here saying you can't be in touch with your emotions and your feelings and be soft about things, but sometimes you need to be real with these individuals. You know? Mothers teach nurturing and caring, and they're supposed to be protective. Men teach survival, and they're supposed to be protective. We both work in cohesion, but there needs to be a balance. This shit right here, disgusting. And from what I got with this, maybe you have younger women in your life and you need to teach them how to be positive. So what you did in the past wasn't bad. So you shouldn't look at it like that because it's men's fault. That's what I translate it as. I'll say it again. You probably have younger women in your life and you're wondering how they're going to go through it and you're regretting whatever you went through. But what you went through is not bad. So you should not feel that way. It is okay what you did. So don't feel bad about the girls going through and being nasty sluts too. It is men's fault. Patriarchy. Okay. Women consorted and shamed by society's sexual expectations find ourselves hardwired to believe that we have somehow degraded ourselves or depleted ourselves by having sex, used goods tarnished, devalued. So there are times in your 20s and 30s when you went out wanting the proximity of another human body. Maybe you wanted to have maybe you wanted to have lots of sex. Fabulous. Bro, I'm telling you right now, if I was her husband and I was seeing her write this crazy ass shit, bro, man. For those of you also, the wilderness years when it was perhaps harder to soothe. What the fuck? What type of Twilight shit is she writing? What are they writing? But those were also the wilderness years when it was perhaps harder to soothe and companion yourself through this life. Now and again, will it have been very disappointing and they weren't so handsome? Funny or eligible the next morning. Wait, hold on. What? So basically you're talking about having sex with people that you don't even find attractive, but it's just sex. Let me read this one more time because this is fucking me up. Let me make this bigger. So there are times, okay. All right. All right. But there were also the wilderness years when it was perhaps harder to soothe and companion yourself through this life. Now and again, it will have very disappointing. Am I fucking where did I read the thing that I just okay. Now and again, it will have been very disappointing and they weren't so handsome. So you're tying having bad sex with somebody not being attractive. That's what we're doing now? Okay, of course. Funny or eligible the next morning. We're assuming that having an orgasm or even reaching pleasure was touch and go. Even with real chemistry, it's pretty rare. Our research tell us to have mind-blowing sex during a one-night stand. maybe you shouldn't do it. Perhaps a combination of bad sex and bad light of day. One night stands should be extremely rare. Realistically, people think that having sex is always the big bang, sell fireworks and all of this shit. No. The first time that a woman has sex is fucking painful. You're popping her cherry. If she still has a cherry to the person she claims she's a virgin with. Right? It's not pleasant the first time. It hurts. I would think it hurts. You're fucking them up. Right? It gets better the more you're with that person. Sex is fucking great when you have an emotional connection with somebody, when you really do like the person, and when you do have sex with a person on happenstance and it's something, it can be exciting. But when you're consistently having this weird spooky sex with people that you just dated the first night, you fucked them, and then they never call you again because they find out you're batshit crazy, that fucks your psyche up. Or when you're purposely putting yourself out there in a dating pool over and over, you're not learning nothing because you have a certain sense of you're a girl boss bitch. Yes, honey. And you just want things your way and you want to destroy the male dating pool to get your way. And so you're having sex thinking you're going to force a certain way on them by laying it down and it doesn't work. That fucks with you. Anyway, perhaps the combination of bad sex and bad light of day left you feeling a little shabby. We were all looking for connection, and sometimes we crave touch, the magic of skin on skin, the potential solace in another woman, or sometimes they're concerted. Wild is wild and why the hell not? Maybe you were a pirate dancing and shagging from dusk till dawn with all the swagger of Jagger. There is nothing you can do to change what has happened, so instead of looking mournfully at your past self wearing those shame tinted binoculars, be kind to her and love the girl on the rampage. Perhaps you could quietly sit down and write her a letter, telling her that you know it, what you know is true, that you are going to be fine. Narrator, but she wasn't fine. And you sitting here telling her that she was fine is bullshit. You're going to be loved. You are saved. Luckily you will be loved because you're already in a relationship with somebody else because you can make mistakes and get away with it as women tend to do. They go, haha, I'm just a girl. I'm just a girl. But if I'm passable enough, if I'm attractive enough, or if the guy's desperate enough, I still get away with murder. I'm just a girl. Anyway, you are going to be fun. You are going to be loved. You are going to be safe. The patriarchal insinuation that somehow this girl needs to do penance in order to be forgiven makes us incandescent with rage. We do not need to forgive ourselves. You just need to accept yourself. You are not broken or spoiled. This sort of reflection generally happens, as we said, during moments of fracture and fulfillment. The middle is the murky bit when we are just plowing on. So, in other words, don't care about consequence. Shut off your goddamn conscience. You're just a girl. You're just a woman. It doesn't matter. None of this stuff matters. That's what matters, girly. Remember, you're gonna be like fucking Madonna. This woman's gonna turn out like Madonna, one of them Sex and the City girls. Remember, those adventures didn't lead you to a dead end. They're deserted. You were driving your own car, okay? It was only a provisional license, and there were times when you put your foot through the floor and did one of them slightly scary swerves that left you heart poundingly. You thought that was close and then you drove on, brave girl. You turned out to be a rather good driver because as it turned out, you got yourself to exactly where you needed to be. No, that just means you fucking survived. What are you talking about? Bro, what? No. Now onwards. Let's look at some of these comments. I often think back to the stupid things younger me did, and I find myself actively disliking who I used to be. And then I think about who I've become and feel a lot better. Most of the scrolls were from a desire to try to develop into a better life without having acquired full social skill set. I eventually got there, and it makes for a better storytelling arc that it wasn't always a smooth ride. That's valid. But there's a difference. You're not looking back on you being used as a literal cum dumpster. There's a big fucking difference. Men go through falling out of trees, crying and getting up and going back home and learning how to climb the tree better and be safer about it, right? We learn from our bumps and scrapes and stuff. We learn from our mistakes. A lot of these people, especially these girls, these women, don't learn from this. And the difference is you're looking back on you bumping and you falling out of that fucking tree. It was a learned experience and it built character. These people are not building any character. They're being told that it is completely okay to be the way that they were in the past. I'm not sitting there saying hate your fucking self, but you're not even accepting that you. They're not even sitting there saying to accept and own up to the fact that you did something wrong, and maybe you should look out for the next generation. They're telling the next generation, hey, that stupid boy right there who grew up and climbed that tree, that don't matter. He'll take care of us later. Anyway, I put my hand on the stove as a child. You should too. That's what this fucking article says. Anyway, oh come on. We had a few misadventures when we were young, haven't we? Looking back, I might feel embarrassed, but regret, no. It's all part of growing up. If you're happy now, embrace it. Don't beat yourself up over what has gone on before. You don't have an obligation to try to rewrite history. These are all guys saying this from their perspective of being men, and they're being nice about it, but they're not looking at they're not reading the article for what it is, and that's bullshit. Caroline, okay, female. All in the past now. You have a loving partner. Everyone has some sort of past. It makes up who we are. Why were these all pinned? Is these what align with the person who replied to this? Okay, let's read something else. Margaret Robinson says her spirit is trying to tell her that she is instinctively linked with each and every one of those she had sex with. The two will become flesh isn't a slogan, it's a fact. Oh, okay, so these are the real comments. So all of this other bullshit out here is what that aligns with them. Gotcha. Okay. Oh, you miss me. I have, which is why I dislike people calling themselves Christians, but then ignoring the teachings of Christ, but refer to the Old Testament to justify their judgments of others. Something Jesus assured us was no longer the truth or one way to be a father. Okay, what the hell is going on here? Um, the Bible has been chopped and changed so much it barely reflects the original. King James Version did a lot of damage, as did the major revisions by the church. The Ten Commandments aren't even the same as the Jewish original, so the Bible must be taken with a pinch of salt. Okay. Harley Galati says, wherever she's going, it sounds like the exes will be there too. Because all that sex wasn't bad. You think all that sex was bad? Guarantee you, as nice as this guy is that's with her right now, she might get a hurting for a squirt and she's gonna remember that one guy that did her right, or them two guys, or them three guys, or them four guys. You really think a girl all of a sudden coming to the conclusion that she really fucked up with sexual partners? You think it's a number lower than double digits? So there's plenty of dudes that did what they had to do. She probably upset because skimming off the top, there were some dudes that weren't so good, and they probably in her life somewhere right now. Anyway, I can't believe this comic calling themselves. Okay, I don't want to read any religious things. Emma, what you call twaddle is nothing less than what is the. Okay, I don't want to read religious bullshit. And we call what a I'm sorry, and we all know what a veritable paradise that is. I don't know what any of that is. Bill Palmer says because rationality trumps fantasy every time. Dogs are faithful. For a supposedly intelligent human to be faithful to a myth is simply bizarre. Gordon Martin says, it's not the patriarchy, it's the conscious beating the drum. We are designed body and soul to live for the glory of God. Oh, God. But don't do that. Our conscience convicts us, but is easily silenced. Most advice is saying forget it. No need to guilt trip. No need to guilt trip. Better truth is to discover the real Oh God, oh my God. Okay, stop this. I don't want to read religious bullshit because I just don't get along with religious people, especially zealots, bro. K.R. Kumaham says, and there it is, exactly as expected. A question about a woman's own agency and responsibility in sex, and yet it is turned around to be all the fault of men. Women want benefits of being an adult with the accountability of a child. Good shit right there. Let's look at some of the replies to that. I consider myself a feminist and I agree with you in part. There is no manual in life, and unfortunately, we get many things wrong. Many of them self sabotage. We grew up and reflect, and sometimes we go through periods of giving ourselves a really hard time. I hope she is in a loving relationship. She can find her way through it, at least her past, and leave her past where it belongs. Yes, there is a manual. It's handed down by your parents and grandparents for hundreds of years. It is in the Song of Solomon. Okay, okay, okay. Actually, there is a manual. It's called personal responsibility. Not sure the letter writer or the response to it is grasping that concept fully. Of course, it's not. It's two older women who've done the bullshit and they're pushing the bullshit onto the next generations, telling the next generation to continue to do it. Come on. Personal responsibility, yes. However, not everyone can be in such a great position mentally as you suggest. I think if you were either very lucky or had a stable, very stable family life, which not everyone has, again, bullshit. Just because of your upcoming, that doesn't mean that you can't be a better person. Just because you grew up with a bunch of cheaters doesn't mean you have to be a cheater. Just because you grew up in a family of gangbangers, that doesn't mean you have to be a gangbanger. It doesn't mean you have to associate or live a life of crime. Just because you lived in a poor country doesn't mean you grew up to be a thief. It's just, again, responsibility, not even once. Name and shame her. Rome in the first century. Can we borrow your king and ducking tool stool? This woman sounds like an old Mercedes car doing the rounds of Morocco at 1 million miles on the odometer. W service and many, many owners. How predictable that someone uses the term patriarch who also refers to the woman as a girl and reassures her like a 5-year old, brave girl, is this a joke? And has fallen off her bike. It's not good or healthy to sleep with loads of men or women. We have been sold this cornerstone lie for a generation that sleeping around is freedom when it's not. It's just alcohol, loneliness, bonding over heartbreak with other women, and abortion. Therapy is religion for those people. Again, I'm on the side of the girl made a lot of mistakes in the past and now she's reflecting on it. Luckily for her, she's in a relationship. If that man doesn't know, this is one of them things where you take it to the fucking grave because if he finds out how much is distraught and he goes, "It's okay, baby. Just tell me the number. Can't be that bad." And she starts saying numbers that makes his numbers don't even look like numbers anymore. Her numbers start looking like hieroglyphics. Anyway, what's that? What's that fucking rhyme? What's that fucking song that I heard? And she screamed, "Don't leave me." He said he'd be back, and the dumb bitch believed him, or some shit. Anyway, I'll catch you guys later. Peace. It's an Eminem song. What was it? It's something about a woman screaming to a man to save her, and he says, "Don't leave me." So the guy says that he promises he'll be back, and then he says, "And the dumb bitch believed me," type shit. Anyway, catch you guys next time. Peace.